Hello and welcome to Esther's Gardening Adventures. I'm Esther, and today I felt inspired by some of your comments as well as a post a friend of mine who heads up a winter sowing Facebook group posted about celebrating small garden harvests. And one of you asked me to to show how I cook eggplant. And I just harvested my Nagasaki long Japanese eggplant with my single seed challenge video. You can check that out to see. I have a couple peppers from the garden as well as garlic that I harvested earlier this year. And then I have some other things I'm going to add to it. And I'm about to make our dinner for the night. And my husband doesn't like eggplant, so that means that I can make this dish and I can put onions in it because he won't be eating it. I'm just going to put what I'm making on top of the pasta dish that we're making. So I thought I'd share with you how I make it. There's this debate out there over whether you need to put salt on your eggplant after you cut it up and put pressure on it, or leave it sit with salt and maybe paper towels. And the reason you would do the salt thing is to both get the liquid out of the eggplant, which isn't hugely liquid to begin with, but it's primarily in order to get the bitterness out of the eggplant. And this LA Times article talked about how you really can't control the bitterness of an eggplant by doing the salt treatment. It does affect the texture, and apparently if you're going to fry it, it can make it creamier and have a better texture and a little less fibrous to do the salt, according to this article. But to do that, you would need to put salt on it and leave it for at least an hour to an hour and a half. And I just don't have time for that, and I'm guessing you don't either. So what I've tried to do is I've tried to grow varieties that are known for not being bitter to begin with. So let's get going. Right, what I have for us today is I'm just cooking some gluten-free pasta. I'm getting water boiling for that my husband and I will share. And then I have the Mama Lucia turkey meatballs. I think that's about right. Okay. So I'm gonna get this on the stove. My other ingredients are your basic salt and pepper. And if you don't have garlic cloves, you can do garlic salt. And then I always like to put a little bit of dill, a little bit of thyme, and parsley flakes. Basically your Italian mix of whatever you're choosing is. And I have some fresh thyme actually that I'm also gonna put in this potentially if I get around to it. All right, this is what I believe is a poblano pepper that I got from the mystery plant. I'm actually going to sample it here on camera and either suffer or not. And then here is the Nagasaki long Japanese eggplant that I got from the garden yesterday. And I just like to keep them in a Tupperware container in the fridge. A little jalapeno from the garden, and a little fish pepper, which does have a kick to it. About that of a jalapeno, but half the size. And I'm just gonna, I don't care which size knife, just cut off the end a little bit here. Oh, actually this end looks okay. Let's cut it off for aesthetic purposes. And as you can see, it's green on the inside. I need to sharpen this knife. My goodness. The inside looks pretty good. It looks like it might be drying up a little bit. But it looks pretty healthy. It doesn't have any particular smell to it. A slight hint of eggplant, but not particularly. It's a pretty neutral smell. I'm just gonna cut it into. You know, I sharpen this knife frequently, but I suspect someone else keeps using it and doesn't sharpen it, because it should not be this dull. You know what? I'm sharpening it. Screw it. Oh, that's much better. Yeah. Now it cuts like butter. It's amazing how much of a difference a freaking sharp blade can make. You can make it smaller. You could dice them up. I'm fine with them being this size because, like I said, I don't mind the taste of eggplant. I'm probably... Alright, now I'm going to cut a little bit off the end of this and taste it because you really don't want to put a pepper in the pan when you aren't sure if it's what you think it is. Usually big peppers like this aren't super, super hot, so there it goes. I don't think it has any heat at all, really. I'm gonna try one of its seeds. I bet you I'll find out more there. Oh, look how nicely that came out. That's cool. That was a pretty clean cut. Look, I got almost all the seeds. Well, you know what? I said I was gonna taste one of the seeds. So, let's do that. It's about as heat-free can be. Breathing the air is more spicy than this thing because there's onion in the air. Alright, so that's good to know from this plant. I guess it's medium high. Out of 6, I have it on a 4, if that helps. Little salt, a pepper. I can smell the garlic already, which means I probably need to stir. Very soon because I do not want that garlic to burn. I'll put a little pre-done dried thyme. A little parsley just because I love the look of parsley. It adds not that there isn't enough green in this, but it adds some green. I feel like dill is an underappreciated herb for dishes. Whoops. I don't want to add a lot of oil. I'm going to kind of break some rules here. I'm going to put a little bit of water in because it helps speed up the cook. And since I don't need a huge sear on this, and it will cook down enough to give me sort of a sear, I figure this will help. I'm going to turn it up to high. You can see where it cooks, it gets kind of a lighter color. See there on this one, how it kind of loses some of that color as it cooks. So I guess it does lose a little color. So basically, I just let this cook until everything looks like it's done. For the eggplant, that usually means it's shriveled and becomes like semi-transparent, but not fully transparent. Kind of like zucchini or squash, right? Neglected pan! That's alright, I think it'll taste good having a little char on it. At least that's what I'm telling myself. Pretty sure the eggplant isn't cooked all the way, but I'm gonna get the smallest piece I have of eggplant. I'm gonna try it. That's good. It's really mild flavor compared to what I'm used to for eggplants. Interesting. Alright, I think I'll put the sauce in. Just a little bit of plain old strained tomatoes. It's interesting, it's different than I expected. It's much more mild. It has much more of a regular vegetable flavor. I can't quite place it. It's almost like a squash type of flavor. Very interesting. This is my first time cooking this variety, so I didn't know what quite to expect. Turn the heat down on that. Not making that mistake twice. All right, let's do another taste test. You know what? I hate to say it, but I think it needs more butter. Just a tiny, tiny bit. It needs something to help it feel a little richer. Just a little richer in flavor. And I think it still needs more salt. I'm gonna revert to my catch-all, which is season-all. It's like if I can't quite get it with salt, I'll put some seasonal on it and it usually takes care of it. Oh, I got on my shirt. That did it. Tiny bit of butter, a little bit of seasonal. It's like a magic salt. Now I need to go treat my shirt. All right, so we have our base dish. I'm just gonna put some of this on top. I might save some for the next meal, or maybe I'll have it the rest tomorrow with rice. That looks good. Look how delicious that is. A little bit of eggplant there on the end. Make sure to get a little onion and pasta. Now normally I put Parmesan on this, but I figure for this I'll just make it this way for starters. That's a delicious dish. Very simple, very basic. Basically treat it like a vegetable and how you would saute it to put it in. It's really good with pasta sauce. It's actually good without pasta sauce as well. And I definitely recommend that you celebrate your small harvests. I'd love to hear about the kind of dishes you like to make with your small garden harvests for us small-time mini homesteaders. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button. If you aren't already a subscriber, please consider doing so. And otherwise, I'll see you next time.